In this first session of comprehension, we've discussed many things. We've talked in our posts about how students are basically in a barbaric state when they are misunderstood and when they misunderstand, and how complicated and overwhelming learning can be. We've talked about why literacy and reading are essential beyond elementary school age. And we have spent our $5 on particular constructs and theories for reading comprehension and had rich and thorough discussions about that. So content area reading really does include a kind of unique perspective and therefore requires some training. So we are going to talk about a particular type of strategy that can be used before reading. It is called question only. Question only is a strategy that is used when you are going to introduce a topic. It's really powerful, and for this particular one, the teacher in step 1 would announce a topic to the class and then explain that they must learn about it through questions, and here is the kicker: they will be tested on it. The test will cover everything the teacher considers important, whether or not the students extract that information. Step 2, the Q&A begins, and the teacher is going to answer elaborately, fully, but not in elaborate detail. We now always take advantage of a teachable moment. Step 3, the test is given. Step 4, there's a whole group discussion. There's a reflection of what should have been asked, etc. And the students then, in step 5, read or listen to the lecture for what they failed to learn. So when I did this with my students, one of the really great topics to use is something interesting for middle school students. So a topic that I used in a social studies class was urinators. Now obviously finding a really good topic is a pivotal kind of point for this particular type of lesson, because you want to pick students' interest, you want to make sure that you find something that they are unfamiliar with, and yet you want some learning to come from it. So the topic that I chose was urinators. So students began asking questions. Remember, I suggest the topic. Students then ask questions. So of course their first question is centered around, does it have to do with something going to the bathroom, which it does not. We then segued into someone asked something about, what is this person? Is it a person? Is it a thing? So we got into some particulars, and eventually they moved towards the meaning, which was correct, that a urinator was a job. So it actually is a person who was a diver back in the days of Roman and Greek times. Now this particular picture here is actually from the Assyrians, and the Assyrians used some kind of systems to go underwater, but we're talking about the Greeks and the Romans, and there are a variety of things that the urinators did. So students began to understand more and more about this topic. So finally I gave the test, and here are some examples of the test. And the majority of students did a phenomenal job. They listened, they were interested. There were certain students who really stepped up to the plate and created some really intelligent questions, and the group appreciated that. Finally, I gave them the reading information, which was this and this below here. And we even went to a wonderful website that had some information showing how some Roman ruins had been found underground, something that a urinator may have done. So back to how this works. Question only can be done with an artifact or a picture. For example, this is a baby bottle and a rattle all in one, found in antiquity. Um, and now it's up to you to dive in and find some topics that you could use in your particular situation for question only.